Hello, hello, and good morning. Nearly took my head off there with my headphones wire. Can you just wave at me if you can hear me okay? I can see a couple of fantastic, that's great. So welcome everybody who's out there to our latest webinar. And this latest webinar is absolutely focused on our integration with CirrusFM and how to get the most from the integration between the two systems. We're doing an awful lot of work in the background at the moment to improve the integration and give you more flexibility within the system. So this is definitely a continuing work in progress here. So there's no staticness to this at all. And the reason that I wanted to do this webinar today is to give you an update of where we're at, what flexibility you've now got to schedule and the inspection types, and also a few other things. So what I'm going to cover off today is, I'll give you a list in a second, but a couple of requests from me. If it's okay with you on this occasion, because we've got around 45 people who are registered to be on this webinar, in fact, we've probably got a few more now, would you mind just turning the microphones off, just so that we don't get background noise? The reason for that is you can ask questions right the way through this webinar through the chat feature in Zoom. And Nikki in support is going to be monitoring the chat facility. I can see there's a question up there already. So if you could direct any questions through to support through the chat feature, and Nikki will get in touch with you. If it's something that we can answer straight away, we'll do it through chat. If not, we'll catch up with you after the webinar. The other thing is if you want to have a one-on-one session or want to have a conversation with us at all, again, use that chat function or email us at support@propertyinspectionmanager.com to facilitate a one-on-one catch-up. So today what I'm going to do, and unlike most of the webinars that I do, I'm actually going to start off in CirrusFM. So usually I'd go into PIM straight away, but I want to show you what the different inspection types we've now enabled within the system look like within Cirrus, how you can actually schedule your inspections within Cirrus. The other thing that I'm going to do, CirrusFM, that is, sorry, if I say Cirrus, it's just take it as the same thing. The other thing that is, I want to show you what templates are and how they work for you and how they link into PIM and what that means for you as an organization in developing your way of conducting your inspections and the types of things that you look at when you're out there. The other thing is, since our last webinar, we have now fully enabled the linking of your database in CirrusFM of properties and leases within PIM. So you can actually access all your information within the app and create an inspection on the fly. So once I've done the CirrusFM scheduling, I'm going to move into PIM and show you how you can create an inspection when you're out in the field, if you decide to do something, or if there's a reason why you have to go and visit a property that was unscheduled. The other thing that I'm going to do today is I will go into the process of creating work requests in PIM and how they push back into CirrusFM. The reason for this is it's definitely something that people are appreciating. The fact that you can now, while you're on site, as well as creating your inspection report, you can also raise work requests that get pushed back into CirrusFM and allow you to get on with stuff when you're back in the office, or colleagues to get on with stuff when they're back in the office. So without further ado, I'm just going to go out of this show now, close that off. Just going to close this off, and I'm going to go into CirrusFM. Now, I'm just going to push this down as well, so I've got the full screen. Okay, so starting off today's process, CirrusFM. Many of you are probably aware that you can actually schedule inspections within CirrusFM against the property and against the lease. Let me just show you a couple of things in here. So when we originally started our journey with CirrusFM about 5 years ago, all inspections were scheduled against the lease. You can now schedule against a property as well. The reason that we've done this is there are a lot of our clients are conducting inspection reports or inspections on properties for common area reports or fortnightly checks on shopping centres or office blocks and that sort of thing, as well as creating an inspection against the lease. One of the things that I constantly get asked is there a best practice in commercial asset management for conducting inspections? And the answer to that is there is no best practice. Everybody tends to do things slightly different. In fact, if anything, I've found over the last few years, a lot of commercial asset managers actually have very little in the way of practice at all when it came to inspections. You may take some photos at the time of entry. You may do an exit report or a make good report based on that. But in terms of periodic inspections, they were few and far between. That is no longer the case. So what I would say to you is that we're definitely seeing in the market a requirement for people saying, we want to conduct inspections on a more regular basis. And that may include an entry inspection, an exit inspection, and a periodic inspection. And that could be based on looking at what the tenant's doing and how the tenant is interacting or relating or maintaining the asset, or it could be on the property itself. So let me just go into here and show you a couple of things. I'm going to go into leases. I'm going to select a property from here. So I'm going to go into lease. I'm going to select a property. I'm going to go into Hampton House because I use that quite a bit. When I go into Hampton House, it then shows me my leases associated with that property. I'm going to choose Meat and Bun. I'm going to scroll down to the area which is focused on inspections. So that's down here. I will in a second go into properties and show you something else. There is no quick link at the moment. You have to scroll down into your inspections. When you come down to inspections, there are a number of different areas within here. I have a scheduling line, and this is where I can schedule my upcoming inspections. And then I've got a completed inspection area. So what I'm going to do here is just quickly schedule an inspection that I can push down into PIM. So I can select a date to schedule my inspection for. I'll put it down as the 25th of this month. You can choose a frequency from the drop-down menu. Now, at the moment, this frequency has monthly through to annually. If you do have a requirement for fortnightly or weekly or another type of frequency, just let us know and we can have a chat with Cirrus8 and get this included within the list. We are finding that some of our clients are doing fortnightly meetings or fortnightly inspections. It really is up to you. Just let us know. I'm going to put this down as an annual on here. Now, in terms of the next drop-down menu or option that you've got, you can choose the schedule date, the frequency. You can then choose the inspection type. We have now facilitated the inclusion of not only a condition report, but also an entry and exit. Now, if you want to have the ability to schedule an entry inspection or an exit inspection within Cirrus8, we have to put those parameters within Cirrus8 to give you that choice. If you would like to do that, then please get in touch with us by emailing support@propertyinspectionmanager.com and we'll get it sorted out. But what this actually means is that you can now schedule not only a periodic or routine inspection, but also your entries and exits. And that means that when it comes through to PIM, it will set up the template as an entry inspection or as an exit inspection or as your routine inspection. So I'm just going to put this one down as an entry. Right, the next thing that I've got a choice on is I've got a template, and templates within Cirrus8 are reflected within PIM. So what I mean by that is this drop-down menu can be customized to suit a number of different things that you may want to do with your inspections. So you can create a template which reflects, I'm going to do this type of asset is a restaurant, or it's a retail premise, or it's a warehouse. And we can work with you to actually set these templates up so that when you conduct or schedule a new inspection, when it goes to PIM, it says, aha, this is a basic warehouse, or this is a common area report, as we've got down in here. And it just means that when you set up that inspection, it will have within the list of areas that you're looking at, the things that are relevant to you, and then you can tweak them in the app. So again, have a chat with us, because these can be customized depending on the way that you work. Now, just taking a little bit of a breath here for a second, not everybody that we are working with at the moment wants to do in-depth inspections on every area within the property. I've got quite a few people that say to me, look, Jez, I really want to do my periodic inspection or my routine inspection in a simple way that allows me to capture maintenance required, an exterior commentary area, an interior commentary area, suggested improvements, and a summary box. They want to keep it simple. What I'm saying to you is that some people like to do lots of detail. Some people want to have a shorter number of areas to fill in, that they can quickly go to an asset, check out that everything's okay. If it's not okay, they can capture information against it under a different number of headings. So these templates you can use to actually consolidate a list of areas for a different type of building, but you can also use these templates for a basic routine report, for example, or you could use it for a more detailed routine inspection. So again, what I would recommend to you is, if you want to have a chat about the way that you're doing inspections or the way that you would like to do inspections, the nature of the properties that you've got, the processes that you want to either develop or replicate, then get in touch with us at support@propertyinspectionmanager.com, and we can help you out and help make sure that these options that you have in templates are the ones that are going to make sense for you. So what I've got in here at the moment is quite a few, but you can see I've got like a basic template, I've got a regular inspection, I've got a restaurant profile. What I'm going to do with this one, because it's an entry inspection, is going to put it in as a medium office. I do have the option in here to add a charge amount if I'm going to pay for it. I won't do that at the moment. And then I can add new. And I just want to put a single ad in. And you can see in here now, I've got a scheduled inspection due for the 25th of November. It's an entry inspection. It's based on a medium office profile. And now I'll be able to pull that through into my PIM app on either my iPad or my iPhone. I hope that makes sense. Just while I'm in this area as well, let me show you something else. Here is a completed inspection that I carried out back in September. What's happened here is this has now been completed. I have an attached document. So when you have completed your inspection within Property Inspection Manager and you submit it, it comes back into CirrusFM8, into the completed inspection area, and the PDF report of that inspection is added to this area. Now, if you are not happy with that inspection report, you can get rid of it, and you can actually add an attachment and add a new report in there. So if you want to, you can send the inspection report back to your email address as a Word document. You can update it and you can attach it in here so that you've got the most up-to-date version in here. Okay. What I'm also going to just quickly show you is when I'm in CirrusFM8, I go into properties. I can also go into my properties, and I'm just going to put Hampton in here again. I can, in the property area, I've got a quick link. I can press inspection. This takes me down to my completed inspections and when I schedule inspections down here. And you can see I've got my property related inspections that are held against the completed inspections. And there I've got the PDF document for those inspections as well. So that I'm not moving in and out of Cirrus, I'm also, while I'm here, just going to show you in CirrusFM. When I go into CirrusFM, and I go into the headings that I've got available to me, of which one of those is work requests, this is where any work requests that you create when you're out in the field will come to. So you'll see in here that, and I'll do one in my demo in a second, but I've got a list of all the work requests that have been raised while I've been out doing inspections. I can click on these. It provides me with the notes that were taken against that work request. I can also view any attachments that were included with that work request. So you can take photos and they are added as well. I can view them, I can download them. And this is the area when you get back to the office, you're online, or a colleague back in the office can create a work order or create a quote from here. So all we're doing with the integration between PIM and Cirrus8 is allowing you to create a work request on site, capture comments against it, capture photos that can be included as well, and you can also assign a priority. So if I look at that, just go back a stage, you'll see you can assign a priority in the app as to what's high, medium, and I think we've got some lows there as well. So just to very quickly recap, within PIM, you have the ability to conduct your reports. Within Cirrus8, you can schedule, and you can schedule your inspection reports against the property and against the lease. The leases are usually for anything that's lease related, like an entry or an exit or a periodic. And your property related inspections tend to be more of a common area report or a report on a vacant property, just to make sure that everything's okay. So from here, I'm going to now go to PIM and show you a few more bits and pieces. Okay, so I'm just going to change my screen, so bear with me 2 seconds. I'm now just going to screen share my iPad. So you should see a change in your screen any second. And I'm just going to go into PIM. Okay, so while I'm in PIM, 2 things I want to show you. First thing is, I want to just show you how those inspections come through into PIM from Cirrus8. So in PIM, I'm using an iPad today, but the interface is very similar between the phone and the iPad. I've got inspections, and that is where my inspections that are completed will reside. They also will have my upcoming inspections. I have import, and that is where I bring in my inspections from Cirrus8. I've got my PIM help desk, and I've got my settings over here. Just to start this process off, I'm going to go into import. If I go into the import screen, to bring in or import the inspections that have been scheduled within Cirrus8, I need to pull down on the left-hand side, and that will go and find any scheduled inspections from Cirrus8 and pull them into here. You'll see that I've got a number of different inspections that have been scheduled for me. And you'll see in here, this is the one that I've just done. This is the 200 Hampton Road one. It's been brought in with a medium office profile, and it's been brought across as an entry inspection. So what it's doing here in the relationship between the 2 systems is it's importing the scheduled inspections from Cirrus8. You'll see I've got another one in here for Hart Road, which is a common area report. That is a routine inspection. That will be based on the property, so it will bring over the right information for that inspection and also set it up as the correct template for this inspection. Anything that's got green on the side is an inspection that hasn't previously been conducted on the app. Anything that appears with an orange bar beside it will recognize that an inspection has been performed on that asset previously, and will use the previous inspection as a basis for the new one. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to import this entry inspection, and I do that by clicking, puts a tick beside it, and then I go to the top right-hand corner and I import selected. I do have the option of importing all of those inspections. I also have in this top screen up here a number of other options too. So I can filter inspections, I can sort them, I can order them before I bring them in. I've actually just rationalized things today for this demo, so I've just got a few in front of me. But if you've got a long list of inspections that have been scheduled, you can select to filter, and you can filter on a number of parameters in there if you want to. So I'm just going to import that selected one. Just going to bring it across, continue. Okay. So now I'm going to go into my inspections. I've just got the one that's set up in here. You can see it's that condition report. I open this up and you can see it's brought across the details from Cirrus8 with the address details, the owner of the asset. It's also brought across the date of the inspection. The inspection type has been set as an entry inspection, and it's brought across the contact details of the tenant, including phone numbers and email addresses and lease start and finishing dates. What I was going to just mention in here is if this information isn't in Cirrus8, it's not going to come across to PIM. That's fairly obvious. But also, this information isn't going to go into the inspection report unless you've specifically asked it to be in there. This information that comes across is really for you and for your eyes only. And if you're using the phone as the device of choice for your inspections, you can actually press on the phone number and you can phone directly from PIM, which is a great little tool to save you having to hunt for phone numbers within different applications. So once I tap to start my inspection, I've got all the fields associated with the type of property, which I think I did a medium office. So I'm going to go back into something in a second, but I've got all of the areas associated with a medium office template. And I've included in this my maintenance required suggested improvements in our summary, which will go on the front page of our inspection report. If you don't want those for your property condition reports, have a chat with us because we can help you change that sort of thing. Some people like them. Because I set this up as an entry inspection report, you'll see that it's also included sub-inspection areas in here. So that means that when I go into an area like the exterior of the building, I also have all of the different attributes of that room that I'm going to check out. Now, some of our clients will say to us, Jez, we do not want to do all of these different sub-inspection areas. It is too much for us. We don't need to. We just want to take a load of photos and put some comments in there that are relevant to this area. That's fine. You don't have to put stuff in here, but you can do. So within PIM, you have the choice. You have the choice of being able to report at a room level and also at a sub-inspection area level. Again, if you want to change stuff, get in touch with us. Same process as usual, but I can go into my area. I can capture notes. As I've done on several occasions now, what we are finding is that more and more people are using Siri for voice to text. Press the microphone and you're able to capture your commentary on the inspection, which can now be done through Siri on the later devices without having an internet connection. The other thing that you might want to use is the little circle with cross in here, which brings up shorthand words and phrases. You can filter on shorthand words and phrases by room, and you can touch and drop them in. So if you want to use those, you can build up that library of commonly used terms and drop them into your inspection, or you can use the abbreviation, press the space bar, touch and drop it in. Okay, so I would go through my inspection, capturing my information as normal. The other thing that I'm just going to show you though, as a bit of a refresh, or also just a reminder for me too, is that if you're taking a photo in PIM, you have a couple of options. You have the camera here, and you have the photo bar. Both of those link to the camera in PIM. So you can press that, or you can press that. If I press the camera, I've got two options. And again, just to reiterate, the photo allows you to take one picture at a time and add extra notes and do extra functionality. The multi-shot allows you to take a number of photos quickly. I'm just going to take a couple of pictures here while I'm doing this. Excuse the room that I'm using. I'm going to press done. I'm just going to go back to my camera again. You may have noticed in the top right-hand corner that there is also an image that allows you to access your photo library. So you can go into your photo library and you can also choose photos to add to your inspection. We're just adding those in as well, add photos. Done. Now, at this stage, I can go into my photos associated with that room, and I can review those photos, and I can do some additional work if I would like to. So I can choose any of these pictures. I'm going to choose this one, for example. I can go into here and I can press edit. Once I press edit, I've got the option of using a number of tools. And these tools are accessed from this bottom bar here. I've got a palette, and that shows me the different colors that I can use. I've got a line strength, which shows me, well, allows me to choose how thick the lines are. And then I've got these tools down here. So I can use the pen. I'm just using my Apple pen now to highlight stuff. I can also put in a text box. So I can use there are marks on the wall that need removing. And I can add that text box to where it's required. Now, I have shown that before, but it's a very, very useful little tool to mark up things that need resolving and really reinforce why you've taken the photo. In typical salesperson terms, I'm also just going to give you the heads up that we are currently also looking at the ability to embed a small video clip into PIM as well and into your inspection report, which will be ideal for if you've got a noisy air conditioning unit, for example, or you've got a dripping tap, or you've got something that just would help in the explanation of what the issue is by having a short video clip. So that's currently under beta. Don't want to push too hard, but it won't be long before you'll be able to embed a little video in here too. So I've got my photos. You can go into any of these photos and you can also add some notes to the photo if you want to. Those notes will go above the picture. So I can add something in here. The desk needs tidying. And that will go above the picture too. The other thing that I can do is I can actually choose to remove the photo from the inspection report, but save it against the inspection. That's ideal if you want to take a couple of photos, but don't want to put them in the report. You just press this little button on the side. So it's defaulted to allow every photo to go into the inspection report. But if you switch that off, it won't go into the report. It won't go into the report itself, but it will still be saved against the inspection. The other thing that you can do in here is that you can choose a picture to go on the front page of your inspection report. So use as a cover photo can be done here. It can also be done when you're taking a single shot. It's one of the options that's in there. Finally, and this is probably the thing that I really want to highlight for today, is if you go into Edit in the top right-hand corner, you can select a couple of photos and you can then choose in this green bar to send a work request, including photos, to CirrusFM8. That will, once you press yes, you want to send that work request, it will bring up this box. You can put in a narrative, the description of what needs doing. There are marks on the walls in the office that need removing, full stop, new line. Recommend that we get 3 quotes from decorators to repaint the whole of the room. Full stop. You can then tap to select a priority. I'm going to put in here, it's a medium priority. Press done. And then that will send the work request back up to CirrusFM. Now you can send multiple work requests back to CirrusFM, What this is doing is helping you to make sure that you don't lose stuff. So what we understand is that some people will make a note, they might take a photo on their phone. When they get back to the office, they'll do what they need to do. This way, you can actually take your notes, take your photos, and push back a work request into CirrusFM so you can do further processing down the line. Okay. So I would go through my inspection report, doing all the things that I usually do. When I get to the end of my inspection, I can go to my little action button up here, and I can choose to preview inspection or submit it. Preview allows you to look at it, submit it, pushes it back up into Cirrus8. I'm just going to submit this one back up. Now, you'll see that this has been done as a PCR template. So again, if you want to start using PIM for your entry inspections or your exit inspections, you'll see that's just been uploaded there. Let us know and we can set up those templates accordingly. You do have an awful lot of choice within PIM. So if you want to make your entry inspections have a cover page with a big feature photo, we can do that for you. Get in touch with us. I'm just going to view this one now. There won't be a lot in this because I haven't done a lot, but I've got the commercial condition report header on here. So let me just move this up so it's out of the way. I've got the feature shot of the outside of the property. I've then got my list of areas. With the commercial reports, we can set it up as a landscape document or a portrait document. Only the sub-inspection areas that have got comments beside them will be included against the header so that it doesn't make it too huge a document. Just be aware of that. And then your photos are going to come behind. Okay. Just double check on that. I think I may have something switched on. Off, right, okay. Cool. So where I'm going to go with this now is I'm going to show you when you're on site, or if you have an ad hoc inspection or an inspection that isn't scheduled, you can actually create an inspection on the fly from PIM without having to schedule it within Cirrus8. The way that you do that is that you go into the inspections tab in PIM. So if I'm out, I get a phone call, I need to go and meet somebody. If I'm out, I'm in an area and I think that it would be a good opportunity to go and conduct an inspection. I can go into my inspections tab, top left-hand corner, I've got a plus sign. If I press that plus sign, it then gives me an option to choose a different profile. Now, we did set this up against an ad hoc profile, which I'll show you in a second, but essentially you can create any type of inspection report from this screen. I'm going to choose that ad hoc profile now. It creates a new inspection, and to populate it with the property details or lease details, what I do is I've got this little I button here, this I icon. If I press on that, it will go and find my properties and the associated leases. Now, if you are offline, it will cache your database in the app, so you can access it offline as well. But basically, this will give you accessibility to all of your database. Sorry, I was just thinking there for a second. I've got Hampton House in here. It brings up the property, and it also brings up the associated leases with that property. So that means that I can actually create an inspection either against the property or against a lease. So I'm just going to choose the property in here, press done. That's created a new inspection, and I can actually start from here. So I don't have to have pre-scheduled it. I can do it on the fly in PIM. I've created this as an ad hoc inspection. An ad hoc inspection is something that allows you to capture notes and comments and also be able to create work requests on site for those times that you might have to go on site to do something. So, for example, what this is doing for this ad hoc response is for ad hoc inspection, it's saying, okay, so why are you here? So you can put into the inspection report, there has been an incident where a shopper has tripped over an exposed tile, I am meeting the owner of the property on site to discuss. So you can create a reason for your visit, matters arising. We have documented the situation using the correct process, and now we were looking at rectifying the issue with the tile. We need to raise an incident report document and also raise a work request to repair the damaged tile. And what I can do from here as well is get rid of anything that I don't need. So if I want to delete that, I can do. Or if I want to add any other area, I can add an extra area as well. Path and access points. I've raised it in there. The damaged tile in question is to the northern boundary of the entrance to the shopping centre. And I can take my photos of the damaged tile from here. Use photo. Done. So once I've done that, I can go back, I can view my report. I'm going to preview it. View it now. So what we've created within PIM is this new dynamic report that will allow you to populate a routine inspection or a periodic inspection with all your branding on it, but also create an ad hoc inspection for whatever reason that you might need to go on site, whether it's an incident report, whether it's to check on some maintenance, whether it's to have a meeting with a tenant or with a landlord. But you can quickly create an inspection on the fly that gives you the flexibility to add whatever areas that you need to. And there are the 4 to start off with that give you a structure. But also it will allow you to then be able to push that back into CirrusFM so that you can have a record of that meeting. So if you are not currently using this, again, and would like to use it, get in touch with us at support@propertyinspectionmanager.com and we can help you get set up. Done. Okay. Once I'm happy with that, I can press submit inspection and it will go back up into CirrusFM. Now, one final thing for today's session that I wanted to show you is in settings, we've got PIM admin, and in PIM admin, you have these different areas that you can customize to suit the way that you work. Inspection areas basically lists all the different areas that we have as a standard within the system, but you can add to these, and that includes a heading or the area, and it includes sub-inspection areas associated with that area. I've just done a setup for a company that inspects car yards, and we've done a very specific setup for them that includes washing bays, service depot, certifications, and other things that they check on a 6-monthly basis. What I'm saying to you is that what we have in here as a standard can be added to. It can be customized to suit the way that you work and the things that you want to look at. So you can create these to really reflect the way that you look at things and the type of information that you capture. The thing that you can do with the inspection areas is that you can then consolidate those into different profiles. And this is what I was talking about before. If you schedule an inspection in CirrusFM and choose a basic template, you can then assign to that basic template the areas that you want to have populated within the inspection. So for this one, you'll see for my basic template, I've got an exterior building, I've got an internal areas, everything else on the left-hand side has got a 0 against it. So that means it's not defaultly added to that inspection, but it does have a maintenance required suggested improvement a tenant summary, and our summary in there. So those are the headings that would come up for my basic template. The reason that I'm mentioning this again is that we have had some people saying there's so much detail in the reports, we don't want it. If you want to have a simpler report structure, we can help you set that up. And it's done in this back end. You can do a lot of work yourself to do that, but we can help you with the process. So that's really, in summary, what I wanted to cover off today. The main things are you can schedule an inspection in CirrusFM from the property and from the lease tab. You can also now create an inspection within PIM from the inspections tab by pressing plus, selecting the profile that you want to use, and then pressing the I to link in to your database so that you've got access to all your properties and also the associated leases with those properties. And in addition to this, when you go into an inspection, as well as being able to produce an inspection report, you can also produce a work request that gets pushed back into CirrusFM. Now, again, watch this space because there's going to be some very exciting announcements in the new year. PIM is developing its cloud-based dashboard, which is going to give you more flexibility in terms of collaborative working, a place where all of your inspection reports are stored, and that includes Word document, PDF document, and high-resolution images. It also will give you the opportunity to stage the pushback of inspections into CirrusFM. So rather than going straight back into CirrusFM, you can just look at them first within the dashboard and then push them. And the other thing that's coming along is the video component. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more of an insight today as to the improvements in the integration. There are some new features coming along in the new year. And also, please give us your feedback about any improvements that you might like with the integration, anything that's going to make more sense to you, or any features that may be lacking at the moment that you think would be useful to add to our solution. I do want to take this opportunity to say thank you to CirrusFM, because CirrusFM are incredibly good for us to work with. We do have an aligned vision, and that vision is to make sure that the users are happy, and this tool links into the suite of tools to make your life easier. So please let us know what we're doing well, what we're doing not quite as well, and where you think there are opportunities to do better. Thank you very much indeed for being with us today. And any questions, if you put them through chat or email support@propertyinspectionmanager.com.